The Beijing Winter Olympic Games are less than 3 weeks away, and while the Chinese people haven't yet gotten over the massive human tragedy of Xi'an's lockdown, Tianjin, a city known as the first line of defense for Beijing, has suddenly come under siege. The outbreak directly threatens Beijing and the Winter Olympics. All eyes are on Tianjin and Beijing and how they will handle the Olympics on February the 4th. Hi everyone, I'm Lei. Welcome to Lei's Real Talk. Tianjin and Beijing are 77 miles apart and connected by over 100 regular and high-speed trains running daily. So far, Tianjin has stopped selling train tickets to Beijing and suspended all cross-province bus service. Even express courier services to Beijing have stopped. A total of 279 checkpoints have been set up on major and secondary highways to screen travelers entering Beijing. Even though the authorities haven't reported any cases in Beijing, the outbreak has likely hit the capital city already. Just like an NetEase article suggested on January 10th, the Tianjin epidemic is fiercer than you think, and the enemy is raging. The enemy, Omicron, didn't just arrive in Tianjin now. The first Omicron case there was reported on December 13th. Tianjin's government immediately blamed it on foreign visitors from Poland. The Polish government denied it, saying that there were no Omicron cases in Poland yet. The Tianjin government didn't talk about it again until January the 8th, when the city announced over 24 cases. The truth is, the enemy Omicron has been spreading in Tianjin for a month, and the worst of it is that a huge number of people in Tianjin have traveled to Beijing during that time. Health Times, a media affiliated with the state mouthpiece People's Daily, reported that of all the people who left Tianjin between January 1st and 7th, Beijing was their #1 destination, representing 18% of the outbound travelers. The report quoted Baidu map data. By the way, Baidu is the Chinese equivalent of Google. The city of Anyang is 300 miles away from Beijing and confirmed 84 cases as of January the 11th. At least 2 of these were Omicron cases related to Tianjin. We know Beijing's official number of cases cannot be trusted, but we can get an idea of the relative scale of the outbreak in Beijing by looking at Baidu's travel data. It shows that Tianjin travelers to Anyang accounted for only 0.43% of total outbound travelers. By comparison, Beijing had 40 times more travelers from Tianjin than Anyang. Therefore, Beijing should have 40 times more cases, and that's at least 80 Omicron cases. Baidu map data captures only partial information, so the actual number of cases could be much higher. Beijing is caught in a highly awkward dilemma because of its zero COVID tolerance policy, and it's very difficult for the authorities to declare or not to declare any cases. The Chinese Communist Party's zero COVID tolerance policy means that as soon as cases are declared in a city, that city and its surrounding areas will be subject to citywide or semi-citywide lockdown and universal testing. But this mass testing is hazardous. Take a look at these videos of the testing sites in Tianjin and Xi'an. It defies logic to have such a dense group of people crowding together. In Xi'an, to prevent people from cutting the line while waiting to be tested, the organizers asked people to hold on to each other. Believe it or not, Xi'an conducted 7 rounds of these universal tests. Furthermore, these extreme measures of testing didn't help it clamping down on the outbreak. So in order to declare a victory of its zero-tolerance policy, local government physically removed everyone who had COVID or was at risk. Xi'an's slogan was, "One person has COVID, everyone from the building is removed." This could mean hundreds of people in large apartment buildings. Instead of clamping down on the virus, the regime clamped down on the people. I think this method may be quietly used in Beijing in the event there is an outbreak. To minimize all risks during the Games, that is, not only COVID but also political and PR risks, the CCP has divided people in Beijing into 2 bubbles, which it calls closed-loop management. The Olympic athletes and staff live in one bubble, while the rest of the Chinese live in another. The two bubbles are not only physically separated, but also electronically and virtually separate. The Olympic bubble, in which foreign visitors live, can freely access the internet without having to bypass the infamous Chinese firewall. But Chinese people don't have this privilege. Even Chinese staff working in the Olympic bubble cannot access the internet freely. To make sure the two bubbles don't interact, Chinese citizens are told not to approach Olympic personnel or step in to help even if they see an accident involving Olympic vehicles. In short, everyone involved in the Winter Olympics, including foreign athletes, media, and staff, are cut off from the ordinary Chinese people. So, the Beijing Winter Olympics is going to be held in a near-vacuum bubble created for the Games. Extraordinary effort will be expended to take care of foreign athletes, press, and dignitaries, and to show them how great China is. All media reporting will be conducted from within this bubble. Come to think of it, Chinese citizens basically have nothing to do with the Games. The Games will take place as if the ordinary populace doesn't even exist. But if there is an outbreak in Beijing, the Chinese people will certainly be the first ones to pay the price. During the Xi'an lockdown, a hospital rejected an 8-month pregnant woman for more than 2 hours because her COVID test certificate had been expired for 4 hours. This pregnant woman waited in below zero temperature and had a hemorrhage while waiting and suffered a miscarriage. And another late-term expectant mom lost her baby after 2 hospitals turned her down for a prenatal exam. A third hospital took her in but ordered a new COVID test despite her already having one. By the time she finished the testing and got the result, the baby's heartbeat had stopped. The mother-to-be was devastated because she and her husband had tried for 5 years to have a baby. If it wasn't for the Olympics, the lockdown wouldn't be so extreme. Another Xi'an woman posted online that she has been in lockdown for 20 days and was supplied only with 2 potatoes, 2 onions, 1 cabbage, and 2 daikon radishes by the government. She asked why she wasn't seeing any of the food sent by other regions to Xi'an that the news outlets claimed. Her post broke my heart. She wrote, "Today the door to my house was sealed. Last night, my 6-year-old son, my 61-year-old mom, and I ate a small piece of beef, about 4 ounces. I took a bite, my mom took 2 bites, and the kid ate the rest. I was heartbroken, and Mom and I broke into tears." This is the price the Chinese people have paid so that the Beijing Winter Olympics can carry on. Last week, the Dutch Olympic Committee advised athletes and others not to bring any personal electronic devices to China as part of a security measure. Last Monday, the German anti-doping agency warned athletes traveling to the Winter Olympics not to eat Chinese meat to avoid violating stimulant regulations. The agency is concerned that athletes may test positive for clenbuterol, commonly known as lean meat extract, after consuming meat produced in China. My question to athletes is this: do you really have to go to Beijing? The 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics will be remembered as the most shameful Winter Olympic Games. I hope people will be wise enough to see it and do the right thing. So now let's learn some Chinese words. Let's do numbers today. 1, 2, 3 in Chinese is 1, 2, 3. You see, visually, it's very easy to recognize them. 0, however, is not easy at all. It's 0. You wonder, hey, 1, 2, 3 are so easy. Why is 0 so complex? Well, don't ever underestimate the value of 0. It's not so easy to achieve 0 status. The Buddha teaches emptiness and the Tao teaches nothingness. Going from something to nothing requires ultimate wisdom. That's why the character for 0 is much more complex than 1, 2, 3. Now that you've learned the characters, you can count the years. 2021 is 2021. 2022 is 2022. Next year will be 2023. Let's review them again. 1, 2, 3, and 0. That's all for today. See you next time. Thank you.